Namaste students, grade 8 English. Today we are going to see the lesson Sir Isaac Newton, the ingenious scientist, section 2 prose. From unit 3 we are going to see this lesson. Actually we would have seen the section 1 already. You have already learnt section 1 reading. Now we are going to see the section 2. Isaac's playmates were enchanted with his new windmill. They thought that nothing so pretty and so wonderful had ever been seen in the whole world. But Isaac said one of them, "You have forgotten one thing that belongs to a mill." "What's that?" asked Isaac. For he supposed that from the roof of the mill to its foundation, he had forgotten nothing. So the friends of Isaac, they were very enchanted. Enchanted means delighted. They were very happy to see that new windmill which was made by Isaac. So they were very excited. They thought that nothing so pretty and so wonderful had ever been seen in the whole world. So they thought this is the best among the thing in the whole world, they were thinking. One of his friends was asking, one of his friends was asking, "But Isaac, you have forgotten one thing that belongs to a mill." "Isaac, you have forgotten one thing which belongs to a mill, that belongs to a mill. You have forgotten," he said. Now this person, Isaac, is asking, "What's that?" For him, he thought, okay, he assumed, he believed, "I have finished fully from top to bottom, from the roof of the mill to its foundation." He had forgotten nothing. "Why, where's the miller?" said his friend. "That's true. I must look out for one," said Isaac. And he set himself to consider how the deficiency should be supplied. He might easily have made the miniature figure of a man, but then he would not have been able to move about and perform the duties of a miller. But perhaps some two-legged millers are quite as dishonest as this small quadruped. Okay, that boy is asking, playmates, one of the playmates was asking, "Where is the miller?" This person is replying, "That's true. I should have made a miniature size of a man. I would have kept the man. But this windmill, okay, this is the working model. But if I made a miniature figure of a man, it wouldn't work. Is it right? But perhaps some two-legged millers are quite as dishonest as this small quadruped. Quadruped means what? An animal which has 4 feet. A mammal is called quadruped. Isaac grew older. It was found that he had far more important matters in his mind than the manufacture of toys, like the little windmill. So he grew older. It was found that he had far more important matters. This toy making matters, this little windmill, he had more things. He wanted to give more important to matters in his mind. All day long, if left to himself, he was either absorbed in thought. Absorbed in thought means he has something in his mind, okay? He was thinking about something, or engaged in some book of mathematics. He was reading books of mathematics or natural philosophy. So he was reading these kind of books. What books? Some of the books in mathematics and natural philosophy. At night, I think it probable he looked up with reverential curiosity at the stars and wondered whether they were words like our own, and how great was their distance from the earth, and what was the power that kept them in their courses. Perhaps Even so early in life, Isaac Newton felt a presentiment that he should be able hereafter to answer all these questions. So Isaac grew older, means he was growing. Now he's grown up. Okay. He wanted to give more importance to many matters. What he was doing, he was reading books on mathematics. He was thinking about something. Okay, he had something in his mind. Natural philosophy books he was reading at night, whenever time permits. What did he do? He was very curious, reverential, admiring. He was very attracted by the stars. He had eagerness, okay, to see the stars and wondered. He was wondered means he doubted. He was very much delighted, excited to see the stars. Oh, is there any other world there? He was thinking. Okay, even in so early in life, Isaac Newton felt a presentiment that he should be able hereafter to answer all these questions. In early age, when he was too young, he was thinking, okay, he had some doubt. Now he has to say answers all these questions. Now he's grown up. When Isaac was 14 years old, his mother's second husband being now dead, she wished her son to leave school and assist her in managing the farm at Woolsthorpe. So when Isaac was 14 years old, he was 14 years old then. His mother's second husband died on that day, at that time. So what his mother wanted him to do, he wanted him to leave the school and ask him to assist her managing the farm. What is farm? You can see the picture. It is a land for agriculture or animal breeding. Okay. So his mother, she wanted him to help. Assist means help in farming. But his mind was so bent on becoming a scholar, but he wanted to become a scholar. So for what happened, his mother sent him back to school afterwards to the University of Cambridge. Okay, for year or two, 1 year or 2 years, he was working in the assisting his mother in the farm. After that, his mother accepted his ideas, his his desire, and she sent her, okay, back to school. And after completing the school, he went to University of Cambridge to learn for higher studies. He was the first to find out the nature of light, for nobody could tell what the sunshine was composed of until then. Before him, no one noticed that. You remember, I suppose, the story of an apple falling on his head, which led him to discover the force of gravitation and which keeps the heavenly bodies in their courses. So when he was sitting under an apple tree, an apple fell on his head. From that only he found all these things, gravitation. Okay, so through that only he was knowing that heavenly bodies also have these these gravitation. With this gravitation power and all, all these things are happening like that. He was thinking. When he had once got hold of his idea, he never permitted his mind to rest. So he was thinking, oh, with this gravitational force, these are this earth is like this, like that. He was thinking. So after he got this idea in his mind, he didn't take rest. He never permitted his mind to take rest. Okay. So he was thinking all the time about this only, until he searched out of all the laws by which the planets were guided through the sky. This he did as thoroughly as if he had gone up among the stars. Okay, if you want to do anything, you should be there in the place. So like that, in that point of view. So what he was doing, he was thinking as if he was among these, he had gone up among the stars, okay, and tracked them in their orbits. In fact, he was traveling with the stars in the orbit. As a boy, he had found out the mechanism of a windmill. Okay, as a boy, what did he do? He found the mechanism of a windmill. He made a working model of a windmill. But now, and as a man, he explained to his fellow men the mechanism of the universe. When he was a boy, he found the mechanism of a windmill. Now, as grown up, he explained his friends, fellow men, the mechanism of the universe. While researching, he was accustomed to spend night after night in a lofty tower, gazing at the heavenly bodies through a telescope. What he was doing, accustomed means used to. He used to spend his night after night where a lofty tower, a high tower. Okay, he was sitting in the lofty tower, gazing means staring at, observing, wondering, looking at. Okay, what? Looking at what? Yes. He was looking at the heavenly bodies with the help of a telescope. Through a telescope, he was watching. He was spending all these things. He was observing the heavenly bodies. His mind was lifted far above the things of this world. So he was physically present and mentally absent. Okay. He spent all his time with the heavenly bodies. He may be said indeed to have spent the greater part of his life in worlds that lie thousands and millions of miles away. So he was physically present, mentally absent. He was traveling. He was spending his time in the heavenly bodies only, where the thoughts and the heart are. That is our true existence. Newton lived to be a very old man, renowned thinker, and was made a member of parliament and received the honor of knighthood from the king. Now he became an old man. Okay, renowned thinker. Renowned thinker means a famous thinker, well-known person. Okay, well-known thinker. He was made a member of parliament also, and he received the honor of knighthood. Knighthood is a honor. Okay. Honor means respect, prize, okay, award like thing. Okay, he received it from the king. Knighthood honor. Okay, knighthood, honor of knighthood. But he cared little for earthly fame on honors. But he didn't care about all these things. This is the big honor. But what and felt no pride. He was very modest man. He was very modest. So he did not have pride. In the vastness of his knowledge, he had a vastness, abundance of knowledge, expanse, enormousness of knowledge he has. So he didn't concentrate on this earthly fame. Okay, all that he had learned only made him feel how little he knew in comparison that what remained to be known. So, according to him, okay, what he was thinking, what I knew is very little, but I have to know a lot. I seemed to myself like a child, he observed, playing on the seashore. What was he doing? Playing on the seashore and picking up here and there a curious shell or a pretty pebble, while the boundless ocean of truth lies undiscovered before me. So, as a child, he was doing what? He was speaking of the shells and pretty pebbles. Okay. At last, in 1727, when he was 85 years old, Sir Isaac Newton died, or rather, he ceased to live on earth. At last, in 1727, what happened? He died at the age of 85. Okay. He ceased to live on earth. He ceased means stopped. So he died. We may be permitted to believe that he is still searching out the infinite wisdom and goodness of the Creator. We may be permitted to believe what? Though he died, his soul, okay, it will be searching something, okay. We may be permitted to believe that he is still searching out the infinite wisdom and goodness of the Creator God. So he was searching everything as earnestly and with even more success than while his spirit animated a mortal body. He has left a fame behind him Fame means what? Praise, honor, whatever it is. Okay. Which will be as endurable as if his name were written in letters of light, formed by the stars upon the midnight sky. He has left a fame behind him. Though he is not there, his fame is there. Okay. Which will be endurable. Endurable means tolerable, bearable, as if his name were written in the letters of light, formed by the stars upon the midnight sky. If you see the sky in the stars in the midnight, you can definitely say, "Oh, Sir Isaac Newton found all these things." I love to hear about mechanical contrivances such as the water clock and the little windmill, remarked George. Remarked means mentioned. I love to hear about mechanical contrivances. Contrivances means plans, gimmicks, designs. Okay, these are the meanings for the word. Okay, this kind of water clock and little windmill, this kind. He mentioned, George mentioned. I suppose if Sir Isaac Newton had only thought of it, he might have found out the steam engine and railroads and all the other famous inventions that have come into use since his day. I suppose if Sir Isaac Newton had only thought of it, if he had only thought of it, he might have found the steam engine and railroads and all the other famous inventions that we have now. Okay. About the author, the biography of Sir Isaac Newton was published in Nathaniel Hawthorne's True Stories from History and Biography, 1851. So about the author, the biography, what is the word biography means? A written account of another person's life. What is autobiography? A history of a person's life written or told by that person. If you are writing your life history, it is autobiography. If someone is writing your life history, that is biography. So this is the biography. It is written by some, who is that? Published by published in Nathaniel Hawthorne's True Stories from History and Biography. As Newton observed, after a lifetime of discoveries, I seem to myself like a child. So I think I'm a child, observed he playing on the seashore and picking up picking up here and there a curious shell. Curious, what is that? He wanted to eagerly picking up the shell, okay, or a pretty pebble, while the boundless ocean of truth lies undiscovered before me. So we have found something, we have invented, found something a little bit, but we have to. A boundless ocean is there, undiscovered. Very possibly he might, replied Mr. Temple, and no doubt a great many people would think it more useful to manufacture steam engine than to search out the system of the universe. Many people would have thought about the steam engine and all, but no one will think about that universe. Other great astronomers besides Newton have been endowed. Endowed means blessed with mechanical genius. Other great astronomers besides Newton have been endowed with mechanical genius. There was David Rittenhouse. Okay, David Rittenhouse is an American. He made a perfect little watermill. When he was only 7 or 8 years old, he found that what watermill. But this sort of ingenuity means what? Ability, brilliance, is but a mere trifle in comparison with other talents of such men. Triple means an article or thing of very little value. Thank you, students. Hope you all have enjoyed the lesson. Hope you all have understood. Thank you so much.